Hi kids, I'm Honey, and tonight's bedtime story is Rapunzel. Once upon a time, a poor young couple lived in a cottage next door to an old witch. The witch grew many vegetables in her garden, but she kept them all for herself. One day, the couple had only a few potatoes left to eat. "Surely it wouldn't matter if we took just a few vegetables," said the wife, gazing longingly over the wall. So her husband quickly climbed into the garden and started to fill his basket. Suddenly, he heard an angry voice. "How dare you steal my vegetables?" "Please don't hurt me," begged the young man. "My wife is going to have a baby soon." "You may keep the vegetables," she croaked, "but you must give me the baby when it is born." Terrified, the man had to agree. Months later, the woman gave birth to a little girl. And although the parents begged and cried, the cruel witch took the baby. She called her Rapunzel. Years passed, and Rapunzel grew up to be kind and beautiful. The witch was so afraid of losing her that she built a tall tower with no door and only one window. She planted thorn bushes all around it. Then she locked Rapunzel in the tower. Each day, Rapunzel brushed and combed her long, golden locks. And each day the witch came to visit her, standing at the foot of the tower and calling out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel hung her hair out of the window, and the witch climbed up it to sit and talk with her. But Rapunzel was very lonely. Each day she sat at her window and sang sadly. One day, a prince rode by and heard the beautiful singing coming from the witch's garden. As he hid behind the wall, he saw the old witch call out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." The prince saw a cascade of golden hair fall from the tower, and he watched the witch climb up it. When the witch returned to her house, he crept to the tower. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," he called softly. Rapunzel let down her locks, and the prince climbed up. Rapunzel was very surprised to see the prince, and delighted when he said he wanted to be her friend. From then on, the prince came to visit her every day. Months passed, and Rapunzel and the prince fell in love. "How can we be together?" Rapunzel cried. "The witch will never let me go." So the prince brought some silk, which Rapunzel knotted together to make a ladder so that she could escape from the tower. One day, without thinking, Rapunzel remarked to the witch, "It's much harder to pull you up than the prince." The witch was furious. "What prince?" she shouted. She grabbed Rapunzel's long hair and cut it off. Then she used her magic to send Rapunzel far into the forest. That evening, when the prince came to see Rapunzel, the witch held the golden hair out of the window, and he climbed up into the tower, coming face to face with the old witch. "You will never see Rapunzel again," she screamed, and pushed the prince out of the window. He fell into the thorn bushes below. The sharp spikes scratched his eyes and blinded him. Weeping, he stumbled away. After months of wandering, blind and lost, the prince heard beautiful, sad singing floating through the woods. He recognized Rapunzel's voice and called out to her. "At last I have found you," she cried. As her tears fell onto the prince's eyes, his wounds healed, and he could see again. Rapunzel had never been so happy. She and the prince were soon married, and they lived happily ever after, far away from the old witch in her empty tower. The end. Join me again tomorrow night for another adventure. Good night.